to the Neutral Grounds podcast, where every opinion is unbiased and every joke is on the house. Let's get into it. So, this is gonna be the first episode of the podcast. I'm gonna have a special guest on, one of my best friends, my guy is Big Reg. We're gonna get into a topic that I think is pretty interesting. It could lead into some other things, but we're gonna go with the flow and see where it takes us. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and get my guy on here. Give me just 1 second. Go ahead and get this link to him. Shouldn't take but just a minute or two here. I'm getting a cold. See, hey, what's going down?
What's the word, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling. Just popped the podcast. So, for everybody that don't know, this is that guy, Big Reggie, aka Big
One and
Lord.
only. The one and only in the flesh.
All right, so we gonna get into a topic. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know what it is, and then I'm gonna give you the first go and let everybody know what you think about it.
All right, let's
So
do it.
what we're gonna discuss today is, does a woman still retain her value with a high body count in the same way as a man?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
On God.
That's a heavy one. Well, in my opinion, I would say, of course not. And I just say that because I'm raised with old morals. Women with a lot of body count, the value of a woman once she gets a man and goes through a man, if she's doing it at a fast rate, goes down. Now, if she has a body count of less than two hands within her lifespan, I would say that's still a lot to me. Pushing it, but as far as multiples, as in tens and twenties and thirties, that's just unacceptable.
So
Completely.
let me give you a little scenario here. So if we had one man, one woman, they had all the same qualities. They made the same money. Um, they had the same good qualities, loyal, all the above, but the woman came in with 50 bodies, and the man also came in with 50 bodies. Who would still have more value? The man or the woman? Or who would retain their value? The man or the woman?
I mean, I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. Quite frankly, me personally, I think it's cliche because it's really not happening that much. For me, it has happened, but for a lot of people, it hasn't. For a woman to still have her purity, which means a very very low body count. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you lose the authenticity of the woman, the purity of secrecy, your fruit, your of that nature with multiple men. Now, as far as the men, on the other hand, I feel like nothing changes. Nothing changes a man from having multiple bodies, but his experience.
Yep. So,
And for women,
oh,
it
go ahead,
could
my bad.
for women it could be multiple 50 men. It could change her physically in
Right.
areas, or
Mm-hmm.
pleasing the man of her. If she went through 50 men and now the last one is 51, she ain't
He
gonna
might be
feel the
diving
same.
in a crater.
Exactly. She might not feel the same way she would feel if she didn't fell down into he didn't fell down into something with 4-5 bodies. You know what I'm saying? He might have a lot more traction with 4-5
Man
than
said
with 50.
he gonna be diving in. He gonna be diving in something he wasn't ready for.
Yeah, he gonna fall in that black hole, and shit. Next thing you know, she gonna be screaming shit.
But no, so like a couple points that I had with that, because I think we got different points, but I think we're both on the side of a man retains his value um with a high body count a lot better than a woman does. And one of the points I had is that it's in a man's nature shown through history to be fruitful. So like kings and other high value men throughout time have always had multiple wives, and women have always had a singular husband. So when a woman is promiscuous, it is a huge red flag because it's not in their nature to desire a plethora of men. So
Facts.
that's one point that I had. I'll 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 throw out one more point and then let you elaborate. So a second point that I had was women that want so typically women want the man that everybody wants, right?
For
So
sure.
the man that everybody wants has a lot of options. And if a man has a lot of options, that means he most likely has a good amount of sex partners. So
For
women don't want just your average Joe on the side of the street. You feel me? Like they want a high value man, which tells you that women are more okay with a man having a higher number of sex partners. Men, we don't generally care about the status of a woman. Like we can give it a shit less if the woman worked at Walmart or
the
if she
experience,
right, like we don't care if she worked at Walmart or if she had her own business. At the end of the day, we usually prefer like a more low key woman. We usually I would say have like two really important things to us like when we're just getting to know a female or we just meet one, and it's literally gonna be like exclusivity. Like you're not being passed around. Ain't no like we like having a trophy, like, yeah, ain't none of y'all had
for sure.
this. And then it's like also sex because men we have we have high testosterone levels, right? Testosterone creates the urge to have sex. So it's natural for a man to want to have sex and we desire that. So like those two things are really big for a man. So obviously, like there's other values down the road that we look for in women, but like initially, I feel like those are like really high on the board for a man versus a woman. They're looking for like your protector, your provider. Like they know that and if you're gonna find a protector, a provider, or a good high value man, you know that that nigga has a lot of options.
For sure.
And if he has a lot of options, then he most likely has a lot of sex partners. So if you know that women like high value men, then in my opinion, they have to be okay with men having like they have to be okay with men having more sex partners, which tells you that a man holds and retains his value more with the high amount of sex partners versus a woman. What you think about that?
I think you hit it dead on the nose. I mean, there's no, if it was a definition for it, that would be it. I mean, if you wanted to
Okay.
eliminate, like, if you wanted to eliminate saying sex with, like, experience, because it goes hand in hand, like,
Right.
a woman get with a man, she want a man that, I know you heard the saying that some people say, it's not the boat, it's the motion in the boat or some shit like that.
Right.
It's because no matter what you got going on, as long as you know how to get that motherfucker to do what it's supposed to do and please that individual, then you got something going on. But if you got what you got and you don't know what to do with it because you're less experienced, ain't nobody coming back. Like, don't nobody want no
Right.
more of that. So until you get enough experience, they don't want you.
And bro, I'm even glad you brought that up because that was a point I didn't even have. Realistically, like when it comes to like men, we're more tolerable of like if a woman's less experienced because we're okay. Like we like a woman that ain't really been touched. We're okay with okay, yeah, we'll
Exactly.
teach you. A woman,
Yeah.
if you went out and cracked something and you gave her a little 2 minutes, you wasn't stroking it right, Shit, Nick, you ain't even gonna have the time and day, my boy. You
She's
out
not
of there.
calling me back and telling
You
you.
out the
She's
lineup.
not gonna tell you
Yeah,
that. Like
you out the
she's not gonna
lineup.
tell you I need you to do it like this. I need no.
But
It's
us
gonna
as
be
a
the
man, we
next
gonna be like,
girl.
oh, so you only got like you only been with one dude, or oh, you a virgin. Oh, okay. We coming back every time.
Every
Like,
time.
okay, we'll teach you. Yep, let me show you how to do this. And it's not a problem. So like, yeah, like that's actually huge. Like, it's a big one. Yeah, like women want a man with that kind of experience. So yeah, that makes sense. And
It's
then
experience for them. It's experience for us. Less experience. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Why?
Yep.
Because the way the woman is created, the less experience, the more shit can be molded to how you are. So shit can be how you know. Because if you go in something that ain't got no mold on it, it's just beat out the frame. Because there's so many bodies on it, it's like you hold no value, baby. You hold
Right.
no value.
And then you feel then on top of that, bro, let's get into the fact, bro. Like I've heard so I'm gonna say this. You feel like a simp, right? If you walking around, um, I'm not even gonna mention any names to disrespect anybody, but you know when we went to high school, you knew who the top rat was. I ain't even gotta say the name. I ain't even gotta say the name. You knew who the top rat was. So like, how would you feel? so, so,
Boy,
bro,
boy, boy.
bro, bro, how would you feel if you you was walking around? This was your girl, bro. Like you would be embarrassed. You would feel like a sit, bro. Every nigga would be walking around, right? And they'd be like, "Oh, bro, you are a simp." And I just crack you. They will be cracking all type of jokes, talking all type of shit.
For sure
It would
that.
be a
For
rat.
sure
Like you would never live it down.
that. At all. At all.
But like women ain't finna get they're not finna get ridiculed like if their man had a if he's a high value man like everybody respects and fucks with women ain't gonna be like oh that nigga done fucked they're gonna be like oh damn girl like you got a good one like
You had
that's
him too, girl? That nigga's
yeah
good.
literally they not it's different and then I would say even to add on to that like um you already hit another one of my points so you hit the point of like a man changes a woman's body during intercourse, right? Like we're entering in your body and we're you're a woman has to mold herself and shape herself to a man's tool. Like literally, that's what happens. They're shaping to what you got going on. And that's how it is. And also like um when you're sleeping with multiple like when you're sleeping with multiple men as a woman like especially if you're out here running around not using a condom so we're not getting into the like
The safe, the clean and the dirty and the
we're not getting into that because I'm saying the man and woman in this situation are equal. What I am saying though is if you're running around not using a condom and you're not using protection if a man ejaculates in you his DNA stays in you for weeks sometimes. So that's a part of you. He is a part of you for weeks. And then it's like also what people fail to realize, right, is like men have higher testosterone levels, right? But
for
women
sure.
have higher estrogen levels.
For
So
sure.
women are more emotionally invested. When they sleep with somebody and when they're with a man, they're way more emotionally. We can go crack something and be done. It was just as soon as we nut, we're gonna be looking at you like, damn, bro, why did I even smack? Like,
For
I'm
sure.
out. A woman, y'all are way more emotionally invested. So that tells me, like, if I'm gonna date a woman that has a high body count, bro, you're probably still emotionally invested in some of these men, which is a red flag. That's why your value is decreasing.
Yep. Yep. That's a fact. I agree 100%. Um, but on the flip side, I do want to say there is a lot. There is a handful of women in this world that even though they have a higher a higher body count, they are still high valued women. And I say that because of this. Now, you could take a woman that has been through so many things in her lifetime that it made her stronger, but the whole time it was tearing her down. And when she got to her peak to never want to be tore down no more, even though she done been through so much, been misused in so many ways, it just made her that much more of an alpha female. And now she's at a point of no return and she's all the way bossed up. You know what I'm saying? And also to piggyback on the women um,
And
molding
hey,
themselves.
also we gonna get into the boss babes type stuff because
Yeah, but
that's a whole nother
also,
topic. But go ahead, let's
and
stay
then,
on we'll get into that in a second.
okay, well, that's what I really wanted to piggyback on women molding themselves around a man. Like, there's some women out here that can mold themselves, even though they've been ran through Big Dick John and Little Dick Harry. They still snap it back like never before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I
it's
mean,
some
I get
women
that. And they
who
got
do have
like
that
I seen they got
capability.
exercises. What are they called? Like Kangles or something,
Ginkles or
some
some shit like
whatever.
that.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah. I get that. Right. I get that. But um, at the same time, like, so you were talking about like, oh, there is some women that are still like but what you call those, Reggie, is you call those the outliers. And like we can't really focus on outliers, as you know, because outliers, like there can be outlier. You could say a serial killer like can reform. He can be an outlier and he's reformed it. But typically speaking, if you are a serial killer and your head's messed up, that's not the case. So it's like
for
generally
sure.
speaking though,
All in
um
all,
right, all in all, like no. Like usually they don't have like their value is just not gonna be there. And like obviously there's outliers to everything, I agree, but like generally speaking, yeah, it's not gonna be there.
yeah,
And
the value definitely goes down.
the last thing I wanted, well, not I'll say second to last, as far as this topic, like when you look at a woman, when a woman gives herself to a man, that's the highest form of submission that a woman can do, right? Allowing a
Facts.
man to enter in your body or even ejaculate inside, that is the epitome of the highest form of submission a woman can give. That
It is.
in your a woman's vagina is supposed to be like her sanctuary. That's supposed to be like where she gives light. That's supposed to be super special. And when you are allowing just anybody in, that lets me know that you're willing to submit to any everyday Joe. And then also, like, it's a huge red flag because it shows you don't have no value about yourself. You don't respect yourself enough to not let everybody in your most respected area.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed. Agreed. I would say value is a great is a great word that we keep using because you do lose that value. Like you said, that is the most sacred. That is the epitome of submissive, being submissive to a man. Climax. It's the climax. I mean, there's none.
yeah,
Once you
like,
reach that, that's it. So it's
and just
like,
think that means you're submissive to everybody. Like you just
yeah,
going around like, yeah,
that's
bro, men,
peasantry. That's
yeah,
peasantry. You
men
making your
don't want that.
at
And
all.
that's the thing. And that's the thing. Women think like, look, most cases, if a woman was to find a man that actually wanted to be with her still, even though knowing like that she had a high body count in some way, shape, or form, like if he knew, more than likely you're probably dealing with a beta male. And the only reason I'm gonna say that is because if this man doesn't have options, yeah, but like if he put you on a scale with another woman, right? And if he was a high value man and he had multiple options and he put you on a scale with another woman that has a lot of the same attributes and traits, The only difference is you got 40 bodies and this other woman has 7. Like that tells you such a tremendous amount about that other
Right.
woman. That means how much she values herself. I can bring this woman home to my mom.
Yep. Yep.
So like, yeah, to me it's not. Now, the last thing I wanted to get into about this topic. This was a question via Isaac, so shout out to Isaac, even though he ain't hop on tonight or whatever. But if a man, so let me, I'm trying to phrase it exactly how he wanted it to be said. So, in the case that a man had 80 bodies and a woman had 40, would the man still retain more value than the woman in that case? I can give you, since I had you go first last time. I'll tell you. I believe that he still retains more value because a man's value doesn't stem, like, a lot of it doesn't stem from his sex partners like a woman's does. Men were supposed to be fruitful. It's not like men and women are not the same. And like what we look for in women versus what women look for in men is not the same. And again, if it's a high number, it doesn't matter if the guy has double. If the woman still has a high number, she's still not going to have the same value as that man. Their values are not going to retain equally. What do you think about it though?
I think I think we are all equal, but I will always feel and believe that men are or could never be equal to a woman. And my point is this: when it comes down to men and women being in relationship or whatever the case may be, a man chooses the woman he wants to be with, the woman chooses the man she wants to be with. It's up to the woman to allow a man to enter her. So, regardless of body count or whatever the case may be on a man, a woman still is going to look at that man as a value target to let inside her.
Right.
So, women are already looking at us as high value, no matter what the body count is. So, it is really not about what we think, it's about what, the universe is showing us and telling us. We're always going to be high valued when it comes to women because we are the prize. You know what I'm saying? That's just how life goes. Now, again, on another note, there is women that are like dominant in a relationship and they choose their nigga, but the common denominator is, a man chooses a woman, but a woman always allows who she want inside of her. So,
And yeah, even
yeah,
in cases like there's like women that are dominant in their relationship. Again, you're with beta men, and really the way
exactly.
society works, like we want to produce alpha men, not beta men. So like if you're with a beta male, like, I mean, I'm not, oh, almost knocked my camera over. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get, like, I can't give kudos for that. Like as a woman, I feel like you should want a man to lead because another thing, like for instance, because women have such high levels of estrogen or way higher levels of estrogen in their system, it allows them to they lead with emotion. So a lot of their decisions are more emotional based. And what that creates is illogical thinking. So like
For
that is
sure.
why men throughout time have been better leaders, and they're more they're more
Logic.
equipped to be like put in higher positions in decision making positions because they don't lead with emotion. We lead with logic.
Facts.
And so if you're gonna, like, as a woman, like you're gonna be wanting to be dominant and masculine and you want this soft simp of a man, then when y'all have kids, you're gonna raise another simp. So then you're just raising and producing beta males. So like every woman, I don't give a I really don't care if you're the breadwinner. I don't care what your financial position is. I don't care what your job status is. Like if you choose a man, like you guys decide to be I'm I would assume that if you're going to allow a man to sleep with you or have kids with you, then you should have enough discernment in that man's ability to make decisions that you allow him to lead.
Facts. Facts. I mean, and then again, that comes with a woman getting a man. What is he there for? A man's supposed to be a protector, a provider. Those are
Exactly.
alpha traits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, if the woman's protecting you, if the woman's providing for you, then what the fuck are you? You're like you
Right.
said.
Right.
So
And I get that times are changing to where like it's harder to survive because of the way the economy is right now, but even then, even if you're talking about okay, you're 50-50, like both people are working, at the end of the day, the man should still lead the house though. He should still be the final decision. He should still like have the game plan and you should be willing to follow and submit to your man.
facts. Let me ask you a question. What do you feel about the 50-50 thing? What is your opinion on that?
I mean, I feel like it's it's subject to change based on relationships because like if I'm a man and I'm in position, right? I'm financially in position to take care of my girl, I would probably prefer where we can live a beautiful life without her working. I would prefer that because I would want her to do the more traditional stuff like take care of the house, take care of the kids, cook, all that stuff. But if not, because of the way society is, it's not that easy just as a man just to provide for the whole household and just have a woman doesn't have to do anything. So like I'm also okay with the 50-50 like um the man working like man and woman both working. I'm also okay if the man has certain things he's doing um and he's got stuff going on like depending on what it is like you have the better job at the time and it's 70-30 work. The man's working 30 as long as he's not a bum and he's striving and he has ambition and he it but even if it's 30-70, the woman still has to allow I'm just a big advocate for the woman being submissive to her man and allowing him to lead. I don't mind all the other stuff like the 50-50 or 30 set or whatever, just as long as the woman is okay and she's not masculine, she's not dripping masculinity, she's real feminine, right? She ain't got that masculine drip, and she's feminine, allows her man to lead, and she's submissive. Like I don't mind it at all. What about you?
I mean, me personally, for the longest of time, I felt it was, it's a 50-50 thing, and like you said, it depends on relationships. For me, in my situation, I did the 50-50 thing for quite some time. And yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. You still there, bro?
All right, so I'm not sure what happened. Guys lost connection or whatever, so I'm gonna get him back in here, and we'll go ahead and finish the discussion for you guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Like it literally just said lost connection, but that's fine. We can pick up where we left off. You were talking about the 50-50 situation.
Yeah, for the longest I was saying that I was doing 50-50 with my baby mom, and it was cool. It was cool for a while. But as I got, more mature as a man, I felt like in my profession I started making more money and stuff started changing. I felt like, well, we had took a little break for a while for about a year. I went and lived on my own and I was doing everything on my own. So when we end up moving back in together, I'm like, shit, I might as well handle the rent and you handle everything else. Hopefully that'll be a better situation for her. If I need anything extra, I can, talk to her and get some extra money from her, because she should be able to save something just paying the utilities. You dig what I'm doing? So for me, I feel like as a man, if you, like you said, if you can, you
Right.
should. I mean, why not?
Right.
You know,
I'm on the same I'm on board with what you're saying. Like I agree. Like if you can, why not? But again, I'm also just saying like obviously not everybody can right now, and if you can't, it's
it's
I
not a
don't feel
big
like
deal.
right. No.
And I'm against women forcing that on men. Like
Right,
you should
yeah.
be able to pay my
No.
bill. Like that shit is ghetto and ratchet as hell. Because you're just telling me you don't give a fuck about me or what I got going on. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I gotta survive. If I'm paying all the bills and I ain't got no extra money, and you got all the money, like, what does that leave me?
Right. No,
You
I
don't want
feel
to
that.
win-win. If we're in a
Yeah.
relationship, we're supposed to make shit better for each party. I'm supposed to
Right.
make life better for you. You're supposed to make life better for me. And if I'm
Right.
making life better for you in a way where I'm even willing to pay all the bills, or just the rent, or just the utilities, whatever the case may be, I feel like you should show me that same love, because we in this shit together. Where
Right.
you looking out for me as well. So that's my take on it.
That's fair enough. I mean, no, we're on board. We're on the same wavelength with that. Like, I agree. Like, I feel like some women look at men like a lottery ticket.
For sure, they do.
Like, and obviously that is up to a man to also have enough discernment in the choices he makes when choosing a woman.
Facts.
Um, but obviously some people, men and women, are good at masking who they really are. So
Those are
you're
facts
not
too.
you're always subject to make a mistake, but at the end of the day, like I feel like if you have a good woman and a good man, that's never gonna be a problem. Like it's never gonna be. It's like when you down, I could pick you up. If I'm down, you could pick me
For
up.
sure.
But at the end of the day, as a man, like we both agree, the man should still be leading and a woman should submit to him.
Facts. Agreed. 100%. Now, that's not to say that the woman can't lead like a man or can't be strong like a man. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that she can't have those values and those attributes within her. It's
I
just
so hold on. I don't agree with you in a sense of I don't think a woman should be strong like a man. I actually think that's the problem with women nowadays. Like there's too many because being independent and strong is a masculine trait. I'm not saying that you can't be like
not
you
being
can't be
independent.
capable. You can be capable of stepping up when you need to here or stepping up or you can handle this on your own. But don't have the mindset like I'm so independent, I don't need you or I'm strong enough, I can do this for myself. Cuz men, we love when our woman needs us. Like
Facts.
we don't want a woman that don't like you don't need me, what am I here for? You good? Your camera cutting in and out. Oh no, you good, you back. But yeah, like I don't feel like men want a woman that doesn't like they have they have that type of aura like, oh, I'm independent. Like you hear that all the time. And no, that was just
All
because you
the
didn't have
time.
your daddy in your life. That's all that is.
Yep.
You didn't have your
Yep.
daddy, you was raised by your mom. She taught you to be this strong, independent black woman, and that's the cycle that goes on. That's from not having a daddy in your life. Because if you did, you would see that like, we're not saying you have to be weak. We are saying that you need to be submissive, meaning you need to love and cater to your man. Like I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. Like, well, babe, I don't really think that's a good idea. We're like as a man and as a leader, you should always have an open ear. Listen more than you talk. And
That's
like
a
take
fact.
in what they're saying. I could take in what you say, And but at the end of the day, you should trust me enough to know I'm and have enough discernment in me that I'm gonna make the right choice at the end of the day, even if it's not necessarily what you agree with.
So for me, I disagree with you when you
Right.
say you feel like independency for a woman equals masculinity. I don't feel that way. I feel like there's different kind of women in this world, right? So,
I'm saying I feel that way when it comes to if you're in a relationship with a man,
right, me
not
too.
just
So,
not just single.
right, I get what you're saying. So I'm trying to elaborate on what I'm saying about that.
Bet, bet.
So, even in a relationship, there's different kind of women and there's different kind of men. So, I'm just going to give you an instance because it's it's bright as day. You can see it. Black men are different from white men.
Right.
White women are different from black women.
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, I was raised by a strong black woman.
So I know.
Not to say she wasn't submissive to her man, not to say her man didn't lead, because that's exactly what he did. But he also had a woman who was strong enough, smart enough, and powerful enough to lead if the absence of her man was to occur. Now, to me, that's a black woman.
But
Certain
listen,
black women.
that's a good so I think that's a good quality. If a woman has the ability if she has the ability to step in, like you're say let's say you out with COVID, you can't like you she has the ability to be strong enough. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the women that are always combative. Like they're always argumentative. They're always so strong-willed and wanting to be like every time y'all start like you get into an argument like I don't need you. Like those type of women or the women that are on their own and when you get in a relationship with them, you're trying to lead. Y'all are together now and you are trying to lead and be the head of your household. And
Those
they
are
are
ignorant
having a
women.
right.
Those are ignorant
But
women, and
but
they're
that's the
so ignorant that
that's
they
the
don't see.
majority of women.
Yeah, not them. I wouldn't say the majority because it's a lot of women out here. That's the majority of the new millennium women. Let's not say majority of the
But the
women.
old birds are like 70. So what you gonna get you a go get you a 70-year-old bird?
No, I would say this. I would say this. There's women in our age bracket, 30, 32 and up. Not majority of them feel like, I don't need a nigga, wooty wooty woo. Now, 28 and down, majority of them feel like, um I got multiple niggas on the line. Fuck these niggas. These niggas ain't shit. I could do what a nigga can do. I'm independent and I don't need a nigga. But the moment a nigga jump in that pussy and have you submissive as hell, screaming daddy and saying this and this and that, that's the moment you need a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they're
But here
confused. They're just confused, bro, because they don't understand. There's when you say things and you talk about things, there's a different world that they don't even fathom because they have no idea. You know what I'm saying? That's just the difference. They have no idea and they're
but let me
stuck in
ask you
their own
this.
way.
I'm only saying this because I've been with women my age, a lot of them. You,
Hmm.
on the other hand, for a lot of your life have been with one girl.
For sure.
So like from my con from my conversations with multiple people, like I don't see a lot of women our age that are not combative, argumentative, like feeling like they're so independent. They don't you see it all women our age, you see all the time, don't need a man or need a man for what or independent like that's their aura. So like
No, their aura is they're single. Their aura is they're single and their kid's father is not there. That's for the women, regardless of me not having to deal with so many women like you did. The value of the women that age, they have baby daddies, and it's the men's fault. They feel like they don't need a man. These new age bitches, they don't feel like they don't need a man because of the baby daddy's not there, which they not there either. They baby daddies ain't there because they don't want them there. They get pregnant and they move on to the next one. The bitches we was growing up with, they got pregnant and actually wanted to be with they nigga, but they niggas was just leaving for other bitches because
But you
that's
know,
what
but
niggas
time out, Reggie.
motherfuckers
But
do.
do you know why? Do you know why the niggas was leaving more than likely?
Cause there was another thought bitch that was willing to fuck, even though he had a baby mama, and it was easier for him to fuck. Let's be clear. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't think that's what it is, my boy. I think
What
the niggas was leaving because of the woman's attitude. Like, bro,
morals,
listen, I've been
attitude,
with I've only been
entitlement?
I've only dated I think I've only dated one white girl, right? All the rest have
Yeah,
been either black, mixed, or like Hispanic and black or something. Like they're always black or mixed. So
right.
I noticed though from the black women, they are way more argumentative and combative. Way more. It's not like compared to a white girl, it's not to me, it's night and day. I'm not saying that means that a white woman is
Because of their
better. I'm just
upbringing.
saying
It's because of their upbringing.
right, because a lot of them didn't have their dads in their life. But that creates a problem because a man that has like value and he's a high value man or he has enough respect for himself, he's not dealing with that, bro. Like if you gonna keep acting like that, being argumentative, like I can't have a conversation, you always like trying to get loud and curse and show all these masculine traits, and yet he's not dealing with that, bro. Like so he's gonna be on to or he's gonna cheat on you. I
For
feel
sure.
like that stems from why they get cheated on more, even more so than just testosterone and wanting to go get a quick nut from somebody else. In my opinion, obviously I can see where you're coming from too, but that's what I think it is.
I mean, it's a majority. It's a little bit of both. Cause you know, just like I know, and I hate to say it like this, that and you know, I'm not saying that a man can't be with one woman, but we're not made to be with one woman. You know what I'm saying?
Now I do agree that we're not designed. If we were designed to be with one woman, our testosterone levels, in my opinion, would
It'd
not
be a
be as
lot
high as
lower.
they are because
Hmm.
it creates so much temptation for a man, and
Yep.
you know, and then also throughout time, like even in like when we're talking about like from a biblical sense, men were with multiple women, even in the Bible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like over time, like all throughout history, men were fruitful, is what they call it, fruitful.
Yep.
So like at the end of the day, like I just feel like can a man be with one girl? Yes. But like it's very hard for most men to do it because you're reaching outside of like what you were bred to do. Like you're trying to restrain yourself. That's like training a pit bull to not fight another dog, right? He
Right.
was bred to fight other dogs. So like if another dog attacked him, to train that man not to fight back you're talking about outliers. Like it's not going to
Yeah.
happen often.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. I agree with that. It's not gonna happen at all, really.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
Um
That it gets wicked, man. It gets wicked, man. It really do.
I I think with I think when it comes down to a woman, like a woman that wants to be with a man and wants to have a successful relationship, and you want to be with a strong man and you want to have a strong lineage, like you're going to have to learn how to be submissive and allow your man to lead. Again, like we talked about, because at the end of the day, if you don't, more that's why more women are unhappy than not, because like they've developed all these traits from having single parent households and not knowing what the dynamic of a family looks like over time. Like, do you see do you see queens every like ruling countries everywhere? Majority, there might be a couple outliers, but
There
nigga,
is.
there's outliers, but we're talking about the majority of high power people are men, and it's been like that throughout time.
That is so true. That is so true. And yeah, let's look at it like this. We're not we're not thinking about the men that led their woman down the wrong path. It's a lot of those people, and a lot of these women grew up with men who led women. You got to. It started.
But you got to place fault on the woman for that. You know
You
why?
don't. You
Yeah,
don't.
I'm gonna explain why. And for the man
Okay,
too.
go
For the
ahead.
man
Go
too.
ahead.
It's both ways. It goes both ways.
It doesn't.
She, let me explain why. So,
Okay.
if she was led down the wrong road by a man, like we said, like we have to get better at having enough discernment to make the right choice in man or in woman. Like with a man, if I was choosing a woman. Now we did talk about the fact that people can mask who they are, but
Mm-hmm.
we have to start getting down to the nitty-gritty in asking real serious questions that eliminate that peel the mask back so there's no way to hide.
Right.
Like
And so I'm finna peel a mask back right now for you.
that
I'm finna pull a mask back right now for
nigga
you.
hit a bar. He said I'm finna peel a mask.
Yeah, on my future shit. You feel me? Mask off for real. But look, so let's say early 70s, right?
Yeah.
When when society was switching over, when drugs started hitting the minority communities very hard, when clean men, hardworking men were hardworking men taking care of their families, and then all of a sudden they got strung out on these new drugs that didn't hit the street. And now that same man that was leading his family is now selling things. Shit is coming up missing. Things is happening. Now the whole family is going down instead of up.
Let me peel that
Now
mask
and
back.
now and now the woman, like we always say, she's emotionally tied in. So her judgment wasn't wrong. This was a good man. This was a good man. But the moment something took hold of this good man and changed him, she had no control over that.
But
The
Reggie,
monkey,
listen
the
though.
monkey had his back. Now her leaving him after she see him driving her down, leading her into a
Well,
hole, she
well, even
leaves
if
him
Reggie,
and
even if
finds
she doesn't
another
leave
man.
though,
Huh?
even if she doesn't leave, listen, what did we just talk about just a second ago? We both agreed that we think that a woman does need to have the traits where, when needed, when you see your man is down, when he's down for the count, being that's a situation where your man is down. We want a woman that's strong enough that can step up and lead when she needs to. So that tells
Right.
me if she didn't, she should have known, okay, now it's time for me to take over and for me to lead. And if it leads to me having to leave him, so be it. But if I can fix this, but I'm not going to follow his lead no more, I'm going to lead. You see what I'm saying?
For
Like,
sure.
so that's why I feel like
And it don't
either way
matter
you,
though. It doesn't matter if you're leading and you have a partner and that partner is still pulling you down. You're no longer
that's why I
leading.
said then at that
Now,
point you would have to have enough discernment to let him go. If you
okay, and
can't
so
get him
when
back
you
on
let
track,
him go, and you find another man now that it's not the early 70s no more and it's the late 80s, and you find another man that's hardworking, right? Now he's leading your family. Now you done got a divorce and you remarry this man. Good working man, hard working man. And now he's leading your family. He's leading you into the right path. But now he done picked up
That nigga
the
said
bottle.
he's leading you to the right path.
But now this nigga done picked up the bottle. And now he's an alcoholic. And now he's leading y'all down the wrong path again. Because he's addicted to alcohol
Bro,
and he just
I,
can't
I,
stop.
I would
And you love
Reggie.
the man so much because
I
you
I
are
would
invested
say
in the woman.
I would say that could happen, bro. But you're talking about an outlier, and I'm
No,
not
I'm not.
saying the
No, I'm
first.
not.
Listen,
No, I'm
listen.
not.
Hold
No,
on. Let
I'm
me
not.
finish.
I am not.
Hold
No,
up.
I have to finish this
But
because you keep saying outlier. This is not an outlier. This is
okay,
plenty women in in this world, in the African American community, in the Mexican community, in the Cuban community, in
So
the Puerto
listen.
Rican
I'm not saying
community.
I
These are
agree,
women
but
coming from these communities that are having
Reggie.
these trauma events,
Okay.
bro, that create
I
them.
agree
Okay.
with that. What I'm saying the situation that's an outlier is the fact of the matter of you saying she got married one time, then he was got on drugs, then they divorced, then she got married a second time, then he was on a bottle. The odds of that happening like that twice is an outlier situation. Not the fact that you
No,
can
it's
run into
not. I'm
somebody with a
telling you, it's
bottle
not, Tom.
or
I swear to
drugs.
God. It's not.
Let's
That
see
is
how
not
many
what
people. Let me look up how many people get married in this world, or are or married twice, are married
But
twice.
here's the thing, bro. When you say married, you can't just go look at legally because common law marriage is a thing. So some people don't even
Niggas
have.
don't be doing common law marriage. You talking about outlier situations again? What niggas,
That's not an
Reggie?
outlier situation, bro. Do you know how many people in this world right now? Me and Alicia been in a relationship for 20 years, bro. We are common law married. You see how you see how you have nothing to say? You
So
see that?
Reggie, no, but so you're saying you are legally married,
No, that's what common law is. You don't have to legally be married. If you have been with somebody for 7 years, 5 to 7 years or longer, that is common law
but what
marriage.
does that do for you though?
That it doesn't do nothing. You are tied together. Like if y'all have been living, say you've been living with somebody for 5 to 7 years, and y'all both are on a lease together or on a fucking bill together, or let's just say a mid energy bill. Y'all are now bonded together because y'all been together for so long by that energy bill.
Reggie,
Yeah.
you're bonded with a motherfucker if you lived with him for like a year. Nigga, you like let me
No,
break that.
no, no.
Bro, I got a situation, personal situation. My brother, Cam, you remember him, right?
I know, Kim.
In
Yeah,
in in Des Moines. My parents sold him their house.
I
It was in
remember the
his name.
situation you was
You was
talking
there
about.
cuz we almost
That
fought it. We
listen,
don't
but listen, that's
but
there's a
no.
difference
That
between
girl only
listen,
lived with him
listen,
for a
no, bro.
year, nigga. I
There's
got
a
kicked
difference
out.
between having having say so at a crib than actually being combined it with
But you're saying
uh,
combined, but not the only thing you said with that was, oh, if you're on a lease. So I brought up the situation that you brought up. So tell me
no,
how
but
what other ways are y'all combined? Is what I'm asking.
what do you mean? What other ways? When you foul, when you fucking, I was just trying to explain to you, not your lease, but like energy bills, gas bills. Like these are things that's common. These are common law things that bond you together. Like I can't go nowhere else and get
But I'm
energy
saying you
and
don't
like
have to be with somebody for 5 or 7 years for that though. You're talking about energy bill, light bill, like they had all of that.
no for a year, right?
Right. And it was already like everything was locked in
And
tied,
here's the
even their
thing. Here's
damn
the thing. Here's the
dogs.
thing. Okay, here's the thing though. They could have left that crib. They once that lease was up at that crib, they could have left that crib, went and got their own cribs, and put their light bills in their own name. They was able. They could still spread their. Go here, put this in his name in a light bill. Go here, put this name light bill in her name, which was separated. I wasn't able to do that.
Okay, so you're saying the biggest difference in common law marriage is
It's
like
not legal.
separating.
It's not. You didn't sign. You didn't sign because you can also you can like right now. I could tell the cop that's my wife. We're not legally married, but common law married, and that's over. That's okay.
So, bro, I need to see because I don't.
Yeah, look it up.
I'm trying to figure out what is the like what we were
So
discussing.
what we were discussing was
Go ahead.
so what we were discussing was, bro, that if people are together for a
Bro,
certain
I knew
period,
you were Cap.
what do you mean?
I just looked it up. I knew you was Cap. I can
What
read
am
you.
I
Yeah,
capping?
get to smiling.
What am
Smile.
I? I'm not smiling. What am I capping about?
I'm about to read you what common law marriage is, okay? And let me
Read it to
rephrase what you said so
me.
that
Okay,
you don't try to misconstrue. You
I ain't
said
misconstrued.
that if you've been married for 5 to 7 years, I'm sure you didn't remember exactly, but 5 to 7, you said, and you
Right,
said that you are common law married if you've been together for that long.
right.
Listen, a common law marriage is a marriage that occurs when two people agree to be married and live together as a couple without a formal ceremony or marriage license. That means you can you can be married even within 6 months to a year. But you have
Okay,
to agree. You have to agree. But
so
no,
my
it's not.
okay, but what did I cap about though? I said that besides the
Nick, I'm
time
telling you
limit,
right. No, you made it seem like you don't even have to like agree to be married or nothing. If you've just been with each other for 5 to 7 years, you're common law married. That's what you said. And
I
it's on
never
camp.
said. Listen, it is on camera, but I never said you have to agree or none of that shit. All I
That's
said
what
is,
this says. That's what it
bro.
says.
Listen. You know what have to agree means? If I state to a person that me and this person is commonly law married, and he looks at the other person and say, "Oh, y'all commonly law married," and they say, "Yeah, we've been together for so long. That's common law marriage."
You're
Where
talking about two people agreeing, bro.
that's
You have
an
to
agreement.
agree.
What? So the agreement has to
But
be
you
written.
just brought a scenario out now where you made it sound like, oh, now y'all are agreeing. But before you didn't say, oh, we agreed. You just said over time, if you've been with somebody for 5 to 7 years, you are considered common law married, is what you said.
That is, I'm still saying that. I'm not changing it.
But that's not
I'm
what it is, though.
why
I'm
ain't it?
reading it to you.
Because the only thing you're saying different is agree. If I'm in a
That is a
relationship,
huge difference. So let me tell you the two things that are different. The fact that
you
you
sound
said you have to be 5 to 7 years and you don't, and the fact
okay.
that you
Okay, so
in the
I was
fact
wrong
time out.
about
Let
the
me read the
time
second
frame.
one. In the
I was
second
wrong
one,
about the time frame, but everything is
the
still the
time
same.
frame in the second was you said that you are considered common law married after 5 to 7 years. No matter like you don't even have to go get me. You still have to agree to each other for like formally agree to each other that you want to be married to each other for you to be common law married. So it doesn't just happen with
No, you don't.
time.
No, you don't.
What?
No, you don't, Tom. You're dumb. What do you mean you have to formally agree? Do you know what formally? What does formally agree mean, Tom?
Reggie, I'm sending this to you right now.
You don't have to send it to me. You just read it. What does formally? I'm asking you a question. What does formally agree mean?
Like, just talk amongst each other. Hey, like we don't want to we want to be married, but we don't want to go through the government basically. So
Okay.
both of y'all have
So
to
let me
agree
break this
amongst
down on
each
camera.
other.
Let me break this down on camera for you, Tom.
Yes,
If
sir.
you don't listen, if you don't go get legally written, if you don't go get a marriage license, right?
Right.
If you don't change your last name, if you don't do all the things you need to do to get a regular marriage license, and y'all have just been together, and in a conversation, your girl tells you or calls you husband and you call her wife just in normal conversation, y'all are already agreeing that y'all are married. That is formal enough agreement right there. And if you're in a
But
conversation,
Reggie, even
no,
if
no, let
that,
me talk
listen,
now. And when it's my turn
go
to talk,
ahead.
let me talk because I'm getting my point across. If
You ain't let me talk one time, but go ahead, buddy.
I did, you
I'm
explained to me
without
what it was.
interruption. Without interruption.
Yes, yes, because you
Okay.
explained to me what it was. You was able to
Go
read to
ahead.
me the definition. You was
Go
able to
ahead.
get yours on. I let you do that, so it's
Go
my
ahead.
turn.
Go ahead. Go ahead, my
Again,
brother.
if you don't have to sign a paper saying you're legally married. You don't have to change your last name, which you don't have to. It just says you have to formally agree on it, which it doesn't matter whether it's 6 months to a year, 5 to 7. It don't matter the time. You just formally agree. Is that correct?
Right. But that's not
Okay.
what you
So
said.
no, that is exactly what I said. Because it's the same thing. If we are boyfriend and girlfriend for 5 to 7 years and we are calling each other husband and wife, that is a formal agreement. It's the same thing. I don't understand where you not
Reggie,
understanding that.
Reggie, because when you first discussed this with me, you literally said you didn't say anything about y'all formally agreeing or calling each other husband and wife. You literally just said if we live with each other for 5 to 7 years, we are considered common law married. That and it's on the podcast. You're
Right?
bringing all this extra. You're bringing the extra
I'm
stuff
not
up
bringing up
after
this
the
extra.
fact.
I'm bringing up what you elaborated on. That's the only thing I'm bringing up. I'm still saying exactly the same thing.
It
Common law marriage is when you have been together for, excuse me, instead of 5 to 7, a certain period of time. You guys are
could be any
common.
period.
Exactly. You guys are commonly law married. If you guys are calling each other husband and wife, in your eyes, you are commonly law married. Ain't that what it's stating?
Only thing I'm saying, Reggie, is you'll see when you go watch this back. Your place that you were holding was common law marriage occurs when y'all have been together for 5 to 7 years. Because of the extensive amount of time, that considers y'all common law marriage. And
Okay,
then now you're trying to, so you were wrong.
no, I'm not wrong because my exact words was common law marriage is when you were together for five. I said 7, and then I said 5, and I said I don't know if, what. I said I don't know what amount of time it is, 5 to 7 years. That's what I said because I couldn't remember the time frame. So I
Right.
just
But
said
you said
five
it
to
was
seven.
between 5 to 7.
Right, exactly.
Was
Those
it
were my
between 5 to 7? So
technically.
were you wrong? Were
Technically, technically, it was still 5 to 7 because it didn't
No,
have
is
a
that
time
is
frame.
that what's the deciding factor though, Reggie, in common law marriage? Like you
The
stated.
the stating factor in common law marriage is formal agreement.
And when you placed your statement, you said once y'all live together for 5 to 7 years, you are considered
Hmm.
common law marriage. What this says is when you guys formally agree to be married, you are common law married. So were you wrong or right
I
with
was
your
right.
initial statement? Okay.
I was right
But
because
for everybody
my initial
watching,
statement was
you
I am
can you
common
can
law.
rewind this and you
You
can
can
see what
rewind
he
it and watch
initially
it and
says.
remember that I said
And
when you see
you
I
don't they
am
don't need to
common
they're
law.
gonna hear it.
Okay, well they're gonna hear that I said I am common law married because I've been with a individual for 20 years, and you said what? That was my statement. And if I've been with a
You're
motherfucker for 20 years, don't without me even saying we're married, without me even saying we're married, and she's been calling me her husband, I think she would agree if somebody asked her, "Is that your? Are y'all common law married?" You don't think she would say yes?
Reggie.
I'm asking you a question.
I don't know what she would say. I'm saying I don't
You
know what she's
you know her.
only reason.
You know her personally, so you don't think
But
she
this
would
is
say
why.
we're
But
common law
yes,
married?
that's why this is coming from. I know you personally, and I've never, not one time, heard her call you her husband. Not once. So that's what I'm saying. I
Okay,
don't know.
but
I
that
don't know.
that
I'm
it's a
not saying that
different.
it doesn't happen,
It's a
but you're asking me
difference.
a
It's a
question, and
difference
I'm
though.
saying I don't know.
Even though you haven't heard her call me a husband, well, you know that she would tell you that we're common law married, though, don't you?
No, I don't. Could she? I'm not saying she won't. I'm saying no, I don't.
Okay.
That's all. I'm not saying she won't. I just say I don't know.
Do you think she would leave me?
I think you would have to fuck up pretty bad. But if you did, possibly. Like if you
Do
went
you think
like for
she would?
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
You're going off. You keep saying
No, I'm
shit
just
like
saying.
if you do this. No, no,
No,
no, no.
but
You're not
listen,
logical enough.
because
I
that's
don't want to
not
listen because you're not answering logic the question. I
I
asked you
did.
a logical question.
Yes, yes. Do I think she
Not
would leave
not
you?
off not off not off what I would have to go do. Right now in this moment, do you think she would leave me?
Nigga, that's like, what kind of question is that? Why would so she just gonna leave
That's
you for
the
no
question
reason,
I'm
just walk
asking
up and
you.
leave you?
I'm not giving you a reason
No.
for her to leave
What?
me. I'm
Okay, I thought
asking
you
you
were
what
trying to say like, well, I interpreted what you were asking wrong. Because if you're saying,
you've
will
been
she just
interpreting
walk
a lot
up?
of shit wrong.
No, no, I haven't.
You have.
If you're just asking if she's gonna just walk up to you for no reason, y'all are
That's not
perfectly
what I'm
fine and
asking
just be
you.
like, hey,
That's
we're
not what I'm
done.
asking you.
No, I
That's not
don't
what
think
I'm
she would
asking
do
you.
that.
I'm asking you that you know that we've been in a relationship for 20 years. Do you think she would leave me right now off something petty that I did?
Now you're adding petty. That's a key word. Okay, no, not
Okay.
off pettiness.
Okay, and why not? Why wouldn't she leave me off something petty?
Because I don't think anybody leaves people off of something petty that's been
Yes,
in
they do.
long-term
Yes, they do.
relationships.
Yes, they do. We're not talking about anybody, but we talking about this situation.
You're
Why
asking for
would
my answer. I'm saying that's why I don't think she would, because I don't think anybody would that's been in a long-term relationship over something petty.
you don't think anybody would? First of all, you don't
There's
know a lot of
outliers,
people.
bro. There's outliers. Yes, I
Okay, so
understand.
so why are you keep answering the question with dumbfounders? Like I don't understand. It don't
With
make
what?
sense to me.
I'm answering your question. I said
You
no, not over pettiness, and you keep expounding. So
but
what? How's that not
no,
answering your question?
you said you don't think she would leave. You said some people or some dumb shit. People don't leave over petty shit. Most people don't just leave over petty shit. A lot of people leave over petty shit. Tom, you know that. You just said you just said in our conversation earlier about niggas and not just
Bro, because
niggas, but
you're saying vague stuff. Do you know like
there's nothing
what you're
vague. I'm
saying?
talking about
Yes,
my situation,
I
and then
know, but
you
it's
go
vague. You know
into
why
my
it's
other.
vague? Can I
Why?
explain why it's vague? It's because
You
of
don't want me
this.
to get to my point.
No, no. Oh, go ahead. I let you talk. I'm just asking if you want to know why. I can tell you. If not, you can go ahead.
Why?
When you're saying, do you think she would leave me over something petty? Like the reason I'm saying it like that's really depends is because of this. If
Hmm.
you were constantly doing petty stuff over years and it's built up, yeah, probably. But if you just did an act, like an act of a petty act, then no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you could expound on what you're asking, what you
Okay,
asked
so
is vague.
I'm gonna go to the I'm gonna go to the length so you can't answer like an idiot. Knowing the shit that you know about my relationship with the girl that me and you grew up with, the things that I've done in my relationship that you know of that maybe she don't even know of, that you know I've done. And do you think she would leave me?
No,
Why?
because that is a really good question. That's a good question. I
Why
feel
wouldn't
like
she leave me?
she's emotionally invested.
It's a
She's emotionally
it's a
invested.
simple question, but I
She's
know you're
emotionally
not gonna answer
invested. I just
that.
I just said
What is that? What is that? When you're emotionally
emotionally
invested,
invested. You don't
what
know
is
what
that?
that is, nigga?
I'm
Reggie.
asking, what is that in one word?
What, invested? Is that what you're saying?
What is emotionally invested? What is that in one word?
Nigga, I'm at this point, I don't know what you talking about. Like, usually when I
She
say
loves.
emotionally invested, people know what
She
that
loves.
means.
That means love, right?
N- No, hell no, that don't mean love. Love don't mean emotionally invested, nigga. What are you talking about? I
What
would
does
have
it
never
mean?
guessed that. That means that you've put a lot into somebody. I could put a lot into somebody, and that means I'm emotionally invested, but that don't mean I love them necessarily. That don't go hand in hand.
It don't.
No, it
So
can
what
it
is the
sometimes, yeah, but
emotion?
not
Listen,
always. No,
what what is an emotion?
it's a
The
feeling.
feeling. Okay, and what feeling do you have to stick around with a motherfucker? even though they did some dirty shit to you? What
What?
emotion? What emotion?
Reggie, this is what I'm about to do to you right now. Take the mask, peel the layer back.
That's
So,
what I'm doing to you because clearly you have
Reggie,
life
listen,
understanding.
listen.
You have life
You just said
understanding, bro.
okay. So I'm gonna let. So
You have
look,
life understanding, bro.
just so we can gain order. I'm gonna let you get it out, and then when you're done, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get mine off. So you
Okay.
let me know what you gotta say. I'm gonna listen and pay attention.
I'm telling you what you should be saying and what you are saying. You know she wouldn't leave me because of love, right? So she's emotionally invested into me. You know this. So back to the conversation at hand, the point that I was trying to get across. We've been together so long that she loves me so dearly that she wouldn't leave me just because we're going through ups and downs in a relationship. What is that? That's something like a marriage. So we don't have to verbalize to each other that we in a marriage if we already agree that. It said formal agreement. It didn't necessarily have to say verbal. Because formal doesn't mean verbal. You guys just have to have an agreement that you guys are married. So that was my main point I was making. You know what I'm saying? And that's it, that's all, bro. I said what common law marriage was. I gave you a time frame. I was wrong and right because it wasn't a wrong time. 5 to 7 years, you're still common law marriage. You're still common law marriage at 3 to 5 years. You're still, and technically, you could be boyfriend and girlfriend for 5 years until you say we're married at 5 years. So what I said was never wrong. It was always right. So that's what
um.
I was saying.
Okay. I got you.
That
Do
made
I
more
agree
sense.
with what you were saying? I, I think you twisted some stuff up, but that's nor here or there. So
When you go back and watch that video,
what I'm
you can
gonna
hear
respond.
exactly what I
Time
said.
out. Time out. It's my turn now. I let you talk. So what I'm about to respond to is the question. I wrote it down so I didn't forget it. Why would someone stay with you if they didn't love you? This is word for word what you said, and I wrote it down so I didn't forget it. Why would someone stay with you if they didn't love you? Do you feel like that's a now you hearing that back? Do you feel like that's a dumb question?
No,
Okay, let me explain why.
not at all.
People can use people for one and stay with you.
Hmm.
People can people can get used to they can get used to the everyday functions that you guys have and they could be checked completely out mentally. They don't even no longer have any love for you. They don't love you at all. Not even a spick. They're out fucking around. Bro, I wish I can throw names out here because I know people going through it right the fuck now, but I'm not going to do it to them. But
So do I.
they yeah, so you don't have to love somebody to be with them or stay with them, bro.
You don't.
What? Why'd you ask me that then?
So are you stating that I can't ask you a question, even
No, I'm
though
just saying you asked the context of when you asked it was like we were
again
debating
that's
back
how
and forth.
no
Go
again
ahead.
that's how again that's how you took it. It wasn't. I didn't put it in context to where I was saying that was the only reason why a person would stay. That was not. I was asking you for my scenario again. I wasn't talking about vaguely. I wasn't speaking vague for other people. I was speaking for a certain situation.
So Reggie, and I'm answering. So here, let me tell you. I know you and Alicia, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, obviously, I barely ever talked to Alicia. Literally ever since we were kids,
So
right?
that's why you can't even say you haven't heard
But
us
listen, so let
love
me
you
finish. Let me
because you
finish.
haven't been around us
Reggie,
long enough.
listen. But bro, you were the one that made the statement. You were like, "Bro, you should know. You've been around." And I'm trying to explain to you why I don't. Because you're the one that said I should. So what
No,
I'm
you
trying to
have like you do have that understanding. So why you say you don't? You might not
I
never
don't.
heard her call me
So
husband, but
okay,
you
Reggie, can
know
I
that me and
finish?
Alicia have been together for
Listen.
20 years.
Listen, bro. Listen. You Reggie, There's always three sides to a story. There's yours,
Right.
there's the other person's, and then there's the
And it's
truth.
the truth.
Only y'all two know the truth. So for anybody else, if I'm not physically there to be there watching y'all, or I get to spend time with both of y'all, her and you, I can't say that, oh, Alicia loves you or she's in love with you because I don't know. I'm
Oh,
not around her, bro. I'm only around you. Can you at least agree with that?
no, because you're not even around me. We talk to each other on the
I mean,
phone.
I'm saying, bro, come on now. We talk on a
That's what
regular
I'm agreeing. I'm
basis. You know what
agreeing
I'm
to
saying?
what's real. If we're going to be all the way real, I'm not
I
cutting no
talk to
corners
you
with
on a
you.
regular basis and I don't talk to her at all. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, say that. Yes.
Okay. That's that I'm just saying, like, I know you way better than I know her.
Yes.
So that's all I was getting at, buddy. Like, I don't, my answers were how they were, was because no, I would be a dead lie if I tried to sit here and say, hey, I'm 100% positive Alicia loves you and she's with you because she loves you, because I don't talk to Alicia. I'm not around Alicia. I don't see her when she's around. I don't know. So I'd be a damn lie to say that.
Right. Okay.
But anywho, this podcast has been going on for a long time. For that, it was a fire. I think it was a fire first episode. So
I do
I'm
too.
happy about that. I am mad that the connection interrupted. So now I got to do all this extra bullshit
Yeah,
um
but we'll get it
to
together.
mix it up. But yeah, man, I'm about to go ahead and end the podcast for y'all boys, and good looks on hopping on with me and shit.
For sure. You know that.
Knocking out
Time.
this first episode. But we gonna be we gonna be checking out, and we will catch y'all boys on the next one.